welcome in Abby, who works on this show. She gets to pick any segment because she was Employee of the Month. And do you have a microphone? Oh, there you go. Yeah, and so she picked you guys to come in. And I was like, well, that's a great idea. And I didn't even put the two together, but it also works amazingly that tomorrow is also Veterans Day. So welcome to the show, the Air Force Academy Band, Wild Blue Country.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so what is your name?
I'm Jeff Valentine.
I don't know what to call you because it's like, do I call you like, that's why I said, what is your name?
Right.
He has a name tag on, and I could have easily just called him his name tag, but do I call you like, what's your rank?
So this is Senior Master Sergeant in the Air Force. It's the grade is E8, which is different in each service. But for the Air Force, they call it Senior Master Sergeant, and those guys are all technical sergeants. But yeah, when they ask me what my name is, that's not my name. That's just my rank. So we just use our names, our actual name, like you would.
Okay, Master Sergeant Mike or Master Sergeant
Valentine.
Yeah, Valentine, Master Sergeant Valentine. Oh man, he just has so many colors on his. It's like when you see like General Schwarzkopf.
I thought he was the general when he walked in.
Or any Admiral Sergeant. Okay, as you can see, I'm intimidated by you guys, very much so. They all are smiling though. Are you all musicians like like your whole life, and you guys got together because you were in the Air Force?
Well, the way the musicians work in the Air Force and a lot of branches is there's not as much training, so that most of the military will send people off after basic training to technical school, and they'll learn how to do the job that the service wants them to do. But in the Air Force, we come in as professionals already, so we compete for these jobs against lots of other people. Yeah, there's an audition like a full-time orchestra where you'll see the post, and you'll have to send in applications with audio samples of you playing what they say, and then if they deem that good enough, they'll invite you to the live audition with everybody else who passed, and you'll have to compete round for round to see if you get the job. And then if you do, at that point, you still have to go to the recruiter and get into basic training and do the training, and then you come to work after that instead of going off to training, which they would send everyone else off to do.
How is this not a show?
Yeah.
Where we've it's like, with a voice or whatever, but you're training to be in the band, but also we get to know you guys as enlisted, and we follow you and we root. This is a show.
The wheels are turning.
Wait, so do you,
well, I haven't heard them yet, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
did y'all go, or do you have the Air Force Academy? Do you attend? You're the Air Force Academy Band.
Right. So the Air Force Academy, basically, we are the Air Force Academy Band, which is enlisted professional musicians that are used to support the mission of the Academy, and then we're kind of dual-hatted because we wear the uniform, so we promote the Air Force. We're Air Force enlisted officers, but we're also part of the Academy, so we're dual-hatted, so we promote. They're a 4-year college, and they have college students who go there called cadets, and then they graduate and they become lieutenants, and they're officers in the Air Force to lead the Air Force. So we support that mission, but we also, because we're Air Force musicians, this is one of the jobs in the Air Force. So if someone wants to come in and they're good enough at their instrument, they could audition and win the job and actually do what we're doing up here.
Gotcha.
That's so legit.
And
That's what I would
kick you
do.
out. So, do these guys lose their spot if someone comes in?
Is it every year? How often do you have to audition?
No, it's a little bit. So it's similar to tenure. So once you get the job, you have the job. You do have to maintain that and stuff like that. But it's not likely you're going to lose that job over time unless something happens. It's possible you could have medical issues that would require you, because we still have to do all the same things where we're doing the PT test and running and passing the things and taking all the vaccines and everything. So if we can't do that for some reason, we could get thrown out for that.
Well, Sergeant Valentine.
Master Sergeant.
Sir.
Senior Master Sergeant.
Senior Master Sergeant.
That's all I say. Sir! Valentine, sir! Will you just quickly introduce everybody in the band here, because there are 5 of you total, and just kind of what their specialty is?
Sure. So I'll just start closest to me. This is Technical Sergeant. All their ranks are Tech Sergeant. This is Michael Evangelista, and he's our bass player. He's fairly new. You're maybe the newest member here, right?
Sergeant Evangelista, let's go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So he kicked another bass player out, obviously, because
He was in Maroon 5 before this.
that's pretty cool. Yeah.
And our cajon player, really our drum kit player, but he's playing cajon today, is Michael Coletti, and I've deployed with Mike. He's a great guy. He's been in for a while.
You a sergeant too? Sergeant Coletti, go on! Yes! Okay.
And then our lead singer here is Sergeant Denver Murphy.
Sergeant Murphy! Hey!
And our lead guitarist over there playing acoustic today is Bobby Wolf.
Sergeant! Sergeant Wolf? Sergeant Wolf!
Technical Sergeant.
Oh, so you guys actually deploy?
Yes, absolutely.
To entertain?
Well, we do different things over there.
And
so
kill.
there's an Air Force band over there 24/7. So the bands just rotate. So the stateside bands will spend a certain amount of time over there and then come back and swap with another band. So there's always a band over there that supports AFCENT, Air Force Central Command, and CENTCOM, the commands over there. And so we've deployed over there, and yeah, we do some troop support, but there's also State Department things. So if one of the cities is trying to gain favor with people in the community, they'll send us to the Children's Cancer Hospital. We'll play there. We'll do things in the community to let them play with us. It opens up a lot of doors just through music, and not it's a soft power that we love that we can do.
They're performing at the Veterans Day event tomorrow at the Opry, November 11th. So it's awesome. The Opry's awesome anyway, but they'll be there during the Veterans Day show. Bill Anderson, John Conley, Oak Ridge Boys, obviously Wild Blue Country. So, well, let's hear if they got it.
Come on.
Everybody turn your chair the other way. If they're good, turn around.
Game show?
Yeah. No, Wild Blue Country, would you guys, because I heard you guys do like an armed services medley. Is that possible? Would you guys give that to us? Yeah. All right, let's give it a little run here.
So that would be like each branch has their own song and your
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So we'll start with Army, then it goes to Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, Air Force.
Do you sing the Air Force one best?
We're not biased.
What we would normally do is
I don't know. I
That's
don't know.
funny, yeah.
My
we'd
husband.
play this at the end of the concert so that all the veterans in the audience could actually stand up during their song, and then people see the services they were in, and then they would sit down the next one, stand up. And it's just a way to recognize them for a concert.
Love that part, but Amy has a good point.
I also just said husband. My ex-husband went to the Air Force Academy and was in the Air Force, he was joint. So he was at JSOC, so joint operations. So he worked with everybody else.
All right.
Yeah, wow,
Let us be a part of the conversation here, secret
And
language.
she doesn't hold it against you guys.
No, but it's like Air Force is sort of everyone seemed to like turn their nose up, like okay, I'm the Air Force, and
Because they're fancy.
Yeah, they're like it's like the best one. Well, at least
Don't they all think
he
they're the
would-
best one?
Yes, he would say they're just jealous because we have the nicest things, right?
That's a tough one to answer.
Okay, I like it. I like this.
I like the way the Air Force treats their people.
Yes.
And so I've been in for 20 years, and I've deployed a number of times, and I've seen, and I just believe in the way the Air Force treats their people more. It's not about the stuff as much as about there's respect for people inherently, instead of I've seen some of the lower ranking people in other services not be treated as well, and I'm not. Sometimes I haven't seen that as being legitimate, really.
Gotcha.
I think it depends who you ask.
I like all. We like all branches. I'm just saying.
We love all
We
branches.
love, yeah.
Why you got to bring up controversy with our favorite
Yeah.
band?
They haven't even played yet.
Here we go. This is great, though. So this is what you do at the end of a show so everybody can stand up and get the recognition they deserve. And do they only stand up when their song comes on? And do they stay standing the whole time?
They don't usually stay standing, but it's also for family members because sometimes that member can't come. And so if it's a family member, we announce the title so they know they should stand on behalf of someone who's either deployed, perhaps deceased, something like that.
A couple questions I have. Do you guys all live in the same place?
We all live in Colorado Springs.
Okay.
Geographically, that's where we live. That's where the bases are that we're employed.
Because like Low Cash, they live in different places now. But they're still a band. They get together and tour.
We all are from different places originally.
Sure, but you all live in Colorado Springs, you say?
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, do you guys charge money to go places? How do you make money, and how do you raise awareness? Like, is it all awareness or what?
So legally, we're not allowed to charge money for anything. It all has to be free and open to the public unless we're deemed incidental. So for the Opry performance, people have to pay for tickets. But they're not paying specifically to see us. There's no real proof of that. So we're able to go do something like that. For example, the anthem at the Yankees game or something like that. We could do those things because we're incidental. And so that allows us to go and put this Air Force uniform in front of people on a large stage like that and get the word out through branding and through messaging, even though they might have to pay. So legally, we just have to be careful. We wouldn't be able to be part of something that was raising funding, even if we really agreed to it. So I know you guys do a lot of St. Jude stuff. I've followed this show for over at least a decade, so I'm a huge fan. I'm excited to be here.
He
Starstruck.
cracked a smile.
I know. It's pretty cool.
So yes, sir. You smiled, sir.
I
Yeah.
do sometimes.
Wow.
And so, we wouldn't be able to raise money for we've played St. Jude before as free concerts.
Sure.
But if it's using something to raise money, we even have to be careful doing something like that because it's tough to. Once one organization sees you could raise money for them, then we have to kind of raise money for everybody else. And in a way that puts working musicians out of work, and we can't do that. So we have to be careful, tread lightly on what we're allowed to do. It's actually difficult to play things that are free and open to the public as a professional band. It's hard to do.
Did you know going into the Air Force that this was an option?
Well, that's what's interesting about the band is it's similar to, I don't want to say we're like doctors, but in the way we come in, we're more like doctors. So we come in already ready to do our job. So generally, because this audition, we didn't get into the Air Force prior to the audition. It's very rare to get into the Air Force and end up in the band. That's almost, it happens every now and then. There'll be a vocalist or someone who's just such a great singer, but maybe they're a bomb loader or something, and they can actually end up winning the audition because they're just so good. But in general, people come in as professional musicians competing with a bunch of other professional musicians, and then when you get the job, then you go to basic training and you do your thing, and then you come into the Air Force already with the guaranteed job.
So this is a sought out, like, you want to be a professional singer, and this is a sought out, like, goal.
The jobs will be posted in certain places, and so, for example, in other bands, if there's a different band and maybe they're a lower rank, as in this band, there's a bit of a rank promotion when you come in, and if you do, some other bands will actually have musicians who want to come into this band, so they'll audition against civilians and everyone else to try to come here to Colorado Springs, actually be part of the Academy band.
You could not look any more Air Force, though. Sergeant Valentine. Look at him. He's got his
Senior Sergeant Valentine.
super senior sergeant, master.
Master. Senior master sergeant.
It's just like he's got everything about his chiseled face.
Yeah, but y'all have to do all the, like, things, like standing at attention and all the, like,
what if they didn't? What if they got to break all the rules because they played music?
That would be cool.
Yeah, it's like in like real life, they're just counterculture. Yeah, that would be cool.
And salute, like, people when you're walking on campus and stuff, or any base, I guess. What about on campus? Like, do y'all have rank to the young cadets of, like, if they take a bite of food and they don't chew it in like 3 or 5 chews?
Haze them?
What in the world?
Do you guys haze each other? She wants to know.
Well, she's asking specifically about the cadets. And so, like, our role with the cadets is really more mentorship and stuff like that. So we don't necessarily get into the weeds of implementing any punishments or something. We'll be involved with them through marching band things and stuff like that. So it's real positive. They will.
Bizarre, Amy.
No, it's
What
a
on
thing.
earth?
Right. Am I wrong?
just bizarre.
At one point in time, there was a thing where if you took too big of a bite, you had to make sure that whatever bite you put in your mouth, you could swallow it in 3 chews. And if you can't, then you have to do push-ups.
But isn't that just like a military lore? Probably, but you're just
I'm not aware
never
of
heard
that.
that one. Okay.
Well,
It might be a thing, but I'm not aware of it.
Must have been happening back in '97.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Well, this is getting awkward.
this is something else.
Maybe it got hazing.
Okay. How about this?
Yeah.
I know you guys also, which by the way, that was awesome. By the way, that was awesome. This was super great. Love it. Could you guys do Country Roads? I heard you guys do Country Roads.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I play the whole song. Do you know the whole song, or just know part of it, or what? Huh? Okay, only do the middle. I'm a little bit blown away at how I didn't. It's not that I expected you guys to not be good, but you're so distinct as well. It's really freaking cool. So how about that? Can we do Country Roads?
Certainly.
All right, here they are. This is the Air Force Academy Band, which, by the way, tomorrow, Veterans Day, they will be performing at the Grand Ole Opry, and I hope you go, and I hope you get tickets and watch them and cheer, and yes, sir, when they finish. Because that's what I'm going to do. Do you guys play all year long, or do you do? So it's a constant. You're just constantly on the road. You're touring, right, Eddie?
Yeah.
Rock
So
stars.
I got
rock
a
stars.
question. So Sergeant Master, top of the class guy, like master
Lord.
sergeant,
Senior master sergeant.
Lord sergeant,
Lord Valentine, yes.
Lord Valentine. So you're just like, are you like the band manager?
No, he plays steel guitar too, but we couldn't fit it in here.
Oh,
Yeah.
So just so you know, these
I really did. I thought he was the band manager.
these nicknames are going to follow me for the rest of my life. Now.
They are.
I just want you to know
Thank
that.
you.
Yeah, I do play steel, so I'm up here I'm like kind of like trying to sort of play along because I'm used to playing. Now that I know how large the stage is, because I saw some of the old videos, you guys were in a different location, it was a lot tighter, and so I just we've done radio tour things, and I generally just have a camera because we can't fit that kind of thing in there. Now that I know, so you should just have us back next year for this, and then I'll bring the steel. We'll do it
You
that
guys
way.
have an invite next year for sure. Abby, great job. Employee of the Month material here for sure. And not only that, so we talk about if we did like our St. Jude Radiothon, could you guys play for that if you don't make money?
We'll find a way. Yes.
Okay. I like
Okay, and then when you're deployed, how
What if
long
I secretly pay them
are
and they don't
your-
know it? And then they get kicked out because they realize there are hundreds in their bag?
All because of us.
That's awesome.
That-
What a great
Are
story.
you going to ask about eating another apple or something?
Yeah, Amy, let's not do
how
that.
long are there?
Do you pop towels, guys, in the shower? Yes.
That was a real. I don't know. How long?
Do
are
you
your
order a code red?
yeah.
Go ahead.
How long are your deployments?
So the way they deploy the Air Force bands right now, it's generally about 100 days at a time. So they're fairly
Wow.
short.
What?
And so
Well,
That's pretty long. I mean, yes, in comparison to some, but 100 days is a long time to be away from your family.
yeah.
Yeah, that's as long as they're in the Big Brother house.
Never thought about
and it's
that way.
exactly the same.
Same
yeah.
deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably not.
Okay, Wild Blue Country, Grand Ole Opry tomorrow. The Air Force Academy Band. Thank you for your service.
Yes.
Thank you for your time and vocals. That was super fun. And the cool thing is on the podcast, we can put up the first performance, Scuba, because that's like hundreds of years old.
Yeah, there's nothing
It's
on that.
public domain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What about the Space Force though? That's not public domain,
That had to
right?
be like written yesterday,
Right.
right?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Oddly enough, that was written by a guy who lives here in Nashville named Jamie Teachner, who was our singer prior to Denver. He was actually active duty and the singer, and then when he got out of the Air Force, he didn't stay in. He was very good friends with General John Raymond, who was the first chief of space operations, and they started talking about needing a song as the Space Force was concocted, and he ended up being the composer for the song. So when you look it up, it still says James Teacher. So he was over at the hotel last night just trying to borrow some pants.
Wow.
That's awesome.
How long ago was that song written?
Very recently, maybe a year and a half.
Within the last
I
few
was
years,
I
yeah.
was walking around Disney World with my family, getting texts from Jamie, trying to figure out how to have help orchestrating it for the Air Force because it was being written at that time. It's a very neat little story.
Wow.
Wish there was a line about aliens. We'll fight aliens.
Is there?
Well, when they see him, they'll add that line.
Okay, yeah. Little green men, little green men.
Well,
Like that,
yeah.
that would be it. Okay, Wild Blue Country, Air Force Academy Band. Thank you guys so much for coming in. There they are. Nice job, everybody.
It's a Bobby Bones show.